The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in chaos. Ambassador Thexler of the Vrin Collective slammed 3 of his appendages against the podium, his bioluminescent patches flaring red with distress. "They've gone silent," he announced, his translator struggling to convey the panic in his chittering voice. Every human embassy, every trade station, every diplomatic channel dark. 3 cycles ago, humanity simply stopped responding. Emma Chen stood in the observation deck of the UNSS Prometheus, watching the blue-green marble of Earth rotate peacefully below. Her reflection in the reinforced glass showed a woman in her mid-30s, dark hair pulled back in a regulation bun, captain's insignia gleaming on her collar. Behind her, the bridge crew worked in purposeful silence. "Status report," she said calmly. "All recall protocols executed successfully." "Captain," Lieutenant Jack Morrison replied from the communications station. His fingers danced across holographic displays, monitoring the withdrawal of humanity's vast network across known space. The last civilian transport cleared the Andromeda Gate 40 minutes ago. Military assets are converging on Sol System as planned. Emma nodded, her expression unreadable. 20 years. That's how long humanity had participated in galactic civilization. 20 years of compromise, of bending, of swallowing insults that would have started wars on. Earth centuries ago, the Galactic Council had tested humanity's patience systematically. Trade agreements that favored older species. Safety regulations that hampered human expansion. Subtle condescension in every interaction. Treating Earth's representatives like clever children who'd stumbled into the adults' conversation. But the final straw had come 3 months ago. Jack pulled up the archive footage, though Emma had watched it 100 times. The council chamber. Earth's proposal for a joint research initiative into faster-than-light communications, technology that could revolutionize galactic civilization. Humanity offering to share its breakthrough freely. Counselor Vexith of the Corthan hegemony had laughed. Actually laughed. The young species wishes to teach us about physics? How quaint. The reptilian being's forked tongue had flickered with amusement. Perhaps when humanity has existed for more than your single galactic rotation, we'll consider your contributions. More seriously, the proposal had been rejected without discussion. Humanity's most brilliant minds dismissed as too primitive to offer anything of value. Emma had been there, standing beside Ambassador Richardson. She'd felt the collective humiliation of her species broadcast live across human space. She'd watched the ambassador's jaw tighten, seen the decision crystallize in his eyes. Humanity had been civilized about it. They'd filed a formal withdrawal from the Galactic Council. They'd given 90 days' notice. They'd paid all outstanding debts and honored every contract to the letter, and then they'd left. "Captain," Jack said, pulling her from her memories. "We're receiving transmissions. The council is... they're broadcasting on all frequencies. Let's hear it." The voice of Supreme Counselor Merath filled the bridge. The Arconian's typically serene tones edged with something Emma had never heard before. Fear. Unprecedented economic disruptions across 17 sectors. Human medical technology has saved billions of lives. Their agricultural innovations feed entire star systems. Their computational algorithms underpin galactic commerce. We may have underestimated the scope of Earth's contributions. Emma allowed herself a thin smile. Humanity hadn't invented faster-than-light travel or energy shields. They'd arrived late to that party. But what they brought was something the ancient species had lost: innovation born from necessity, creativity born from diversity, and the relentless human drive to improve, adapt, and solve problems. The galaxy had taken those gifts for granted. "Play the next one," she instructed. This voice was panicked. Belonging to Trade Minister Kelvik, human shipping companies moved 70% of goods through the Outer Rim. Human security firms protected half our commercial stations. Human engineers maintained critical infrastructure on 40% of colonized worlds. They didn't just leave, they took their expertise with them. Jack looked up from his console. Captain, we're detecting mass system failures across the galaxy. Life support systems failing on stations humans used to maintain. Trade routes collapsing without human logistics networks. Even basic medical facilities going dark. Not our problem anymore, Emma said, though her tone was soft. She felt no satisfaction in the chaos. Humanity hadn't wanted this. They'd simply wanted respect. Another transmission. Counselor Thexler again, his voice desperate. Earth, please respond. We wish to renegotiate. Your contributions to galactic civilization are clearly more substantial than we realized. Your research proposals will be given full consideration. We formally request, stop playback, Emma commanded. The bridge fell silent. Every crew member knew what came next. The decision wasn't Emma's alone, it had been put to a vote across all of humanity. 30 billion voices. The result had been overwhelming. Captain, Jack ventured carefully. What are your orders? Emma turned from the viewport, looking across her bridge crew. Young faces and old, every ethnicity Earth had produced, united in purpose. This was humanity's strength, not their technology, but their unity and diversity, their ability to come together when it mattered. Maintain communication blackout, she said firmly. Continue withdrawal protocols. And send one final message to the Council. Jack's hands flew across his console. Ready to transmit, Captain? Emma's voice was steady, clear, and utterly final. The Galactic Council had centuries to treat humanity as equals. You had decades to recognize our contributions. You had months to reconsider your position. You chose condescension over cooperation, pride over partnership. Humanity owes you nothing. We will rebuild our civilization on our own terms. Perhaps in another century, when you've learned that wisdom doesn't come from age alone, we might speak again. Until then, goodbye? She nodded to Jack, who sent the transmission across every council channel before severing the connection permanently. Across the galaxy, the council chamber erupted in chaos. Species that had stood for millennia suddenly faced a universe without the humans they'd dismissed. Their infrastructure crumbling, their economies teetering, their arrogance finally, devastatingly, having consequences. On Earth, humanity turned inward, focusing on their own systems, their own people, their own future. They had the stars whenever they wanted them. They'd proven they could thrive anywhere, but first, they'd remind themselves why they'd reached for the stars in the first place, not for approval from those who came before, but for the sheer human audacity to believe they belonged among them. Emma Shun smiled as the Prometheus began its burn toward home. Humanity had spoken, the galaxy would have to listen.